So today, as I say, I wanted to talk about how often you check in with yourself. So there's a few areas to explore here. Firstly, what do I mean by checking in with yourself? Secondly, why it's important, why I feel it's extremely important as a business owner, as a human being, but particularly as a business owner. What you can do to actually check in with yourself, and last but not least, how to remind yourself to do that if you think that's going to be useful for you. So, first of all, what do I mean by checking in with yourself? I mean figuring out what's going on for you at a particular moment in time. So it's about becoming much more present in the here and now. So I guess it's about mindfulness, and mindfulness is about being purposeful and being purposefully in the present, if you like, but being non-judgmental. So it's exploring what's going on for you in any particular moment. So right now, you can ask yourself, what's going on for me? What's going on in my body? So that could be aches and pains, any niggles, any stiffness, whether you're comfortable, uncomfortable. It could be what's going on in your mind. So what kinds of thoughts have been whirring around in your mind? Because we're very often not consciously aware of those thoughts. And what can happen, you can get into this negative cycle, or you can start to think negative thoughts, and then that gets another negative thought, and then something else jumps on. It's like a thought train that builds up steam, and before you know it, it's going at full speed ahead. So just actually checking in and seeing what's going on can be extremely useful. Another area to consider another area to look at is your emotions, or how you're feeling. Are you feeling vital, motivated? Or are you feeling sad, angry, frustrated? What's going on? And you can connect that with what's actually going on in your body. So where are you feeling things in your body? So it's really important to do this because it can stop that negative thought spiral in its tracks, or that negative thought train in its tracks, mixing metaphors there. It can stop aches and pains and stress becoming something that actually becomes chronic in your body. So for instance, if you're doing lots of typing, then actually just realizing that your fingers or your hands are getting fatigued, or you're getting some aches and pains in there, and doing something about it can be really useful. What else can it do? Well, obviously it can stop you getting really stressed, because if you're more aware as the day goes on, at certain points in the day, how you're feeling, then the things that trigger you, the things that stress you, you can actually start to do something about. So it can change the way you feel. And it can give you, I guess it gives you more focus, because you're purposefully concentrating your attention and becoming much more productive. So if that's what it is, that's what I mean by checking in with yourself, and that's why it's important, then how do you actually do it? You actually stop and ask yourself, what's going on for me right now? So that's what's going on in my body. How am I feeling? How am I sitting? How am I standing? You could be doing absolutely anything at this point, obviously. It's just as soon as you become aware, then you start to ask yourself without judging what's going on, because what you don't want to do is start to judge whether that's good or bad. You just want to notice what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind. And if you've just been having a conversation with someone, you've just been talking, speaking, then you can ask yourself, what's going on with me in terms of my speech? Because if you've listened to any of my other trainings, you'll know that how you think affects how you feel. They impact on the words you say, on what you come out with. And that obviously impacts on your actions or non-actions, and your results or lack of results. So you check in with yourself by asking yourself. You stop first of all and you ask yourself so that you become aware, because awareness is the first step in making any kind of change. If you're not aware, excuse me, that you need to change, then how are you going to change? So one of the important things, I think, is to figure out how to remind yourself to do this, because you may be convinced that it's a good idea. You may know how to do it, but you may say to me, well, that's all well and good, but I never remember to do it. How am I going to remember to do this kind of thing? Because, you know, it's kind of simple and sounds easy, but it's not easy when you get caught up in all of the day-to-day stuff that goes on in your business. So what I suggest with this, and with lots of things where you want to help yourself to remember or to do certain things, is to set yourself some reminders. So set an alert on your phone or a reminder, set an alarm. Have this as something you do first thing, last thing, midday. You can decide how often you want to do this. And obviously you can just do this whenever you remember to do it. But we're talking about how to remind yourself. And this is about setting up some kind of structure or some kind of habit that will help you do this thing, that will then allow you to start to feel better more of the time and to get more done, to be more productive. So electronic alerts and reminders are really good, but so are simple things like post-it notes or a screensaver or something like that, which is just says check in with myself with a smiley face or a tick, or however you want to do it. I mean, how you set the reminder is up to you. I'm advising that you do set the reminder. So that is a really, really simple tip, yet it's very impactful when you take this on board. And as with most things in life, it's often the simple things that actually work, and we disregard them and we think that they're not going to work because they're so simple. But as I said earlier, simple does not equate to easy. It doesn't mean it's easy to do. But this is very important. So let me know how you get on. Let me know whether your reminders are working, what is actually going on for you, whether you can be non-judgmental, because that's the essence of this, is to kind of be non-judgmental and just become aware, and then you can choose to do something about it.